The Nightmare Before Christmas was my favorite movie as a kid, and I know everyone says that now. For some reason it gained a lot of popularity in the early 2000s. The movie came out in 1993 and no one really talked about it for about 12 years, unless of course you too were
strange and unusual.
The only merchandise I remember seeing as a kid were a couple action figures. I actually had like a posable Jack dressed in Santa gear and the dude with the axe in his head. But now you can walk into Hot Topic, the Disney store, even goddamn Walmart, and get anything you want with Jack's face on it. But I'm not here to gatekeep or tell you why my childhood was better than yours. I'm here to review games. So, this is The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Pumpkin King. Since this movie is Tim Burton's precious monster baby, he wouldn't sign off on any additional films, which, if you've seen any of the 1,000 straight-to-video Disney sequels, is a very good thing. To get around this, 2 video games were released in 2005, The Pumpkin King acting as a prequel and Oogie's Revenge as a sequel, and we're looking at the Game Boy Advance game because it's easier. The game takes place a year before the events of the movie, and Oogie Boogie tries to take over Halloween Town with bugs because his henchman said he's not as scary as Jack. For the record, giant sentient sack of insects much more terrifying than a singing skeleton man who loves Christmas. The citizens of Halloween Town, who, let me remind you, are made up of vampires, witches, zombies, demons, and literal corpses, are so scared of these bugs they won't leave their homes on Halloween, the one day their entire lives revolve around. As the Pumpkin King, it's apparently your job to remove the threat and save Halloween. The visuals here really don't represent the source very well. If they made a Nightmare Before Christmas cartoon, I could see them going for this style, but going by the movie, everything is way too bright. I could see that they're trying. Maybe it's the limitations of the Game Boy Advance, but it looks like they're trying to replicate the bleak, Burton-esque feel of the movie. But it's just not there. The Jack sprite looks good sometimes. His walking animation kind of matches how he creeps in the movie, but it doesn't quite look right at that speed. There's also a lot of dancing. The movie had a lot of music and rhythmic movement, but this is taking it too far. I know I sound nitpicky, but this was the first piece of media for the series since the movie came out 12 years prior. At least the actual game looks better than the cutscenes. The music in the game isn't terrible. While it's certainly not Elfman quality, it does usually fit the theme, and you can hear snippets of the actual soundtrack from time to time. The Pumpkin King plays like a watered-down Metroidvania, which wasn't as prominent in 2005 as it has been the past couple years, so I give them props for going beyond a basic platformer. I want to say Jack feels a bit slippery, but I think it's just his animation. The thing this game does well is acting as a prequel to the movie. It really does explain why Oogie Boogie doesn't come out of his lair, and why Lock, Shock, and Barrel thought Jack didn't like them. Overall, the game isn't bad. As a game, there are certainly better options, but as an entry in the Nightmare Before Christmas series, 8 out of 10. Plus, look at that box art. 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that other good stuff. And we will see you next time.